again everyone, this is Dr. Tim Newton with Inspire Movement Physical Therapy. In this video we're going to show you some strategies that you can use to have the best ergonomics when we're holding on to our smartphones. So we all have these phones that we're all wedded to. What are we supposed to do with these things? What is the right way to hold them, look at them, and use them? It's something that we can't really get away from, and it's not perfect, so we need to find the best strategies to be dealing with our phones. For uses where you're checking for information, checking for an email or something like that that's taking a minute or maybe 2 minutes at most, I really wouldn't worry too much about it. These things are going to happen, you're usually on the go. It's really not something that we're going to be thinking about our posture. But if you're in a situation where you're sitting and checking Facebook for a while or reading an article for a while, you want to be attentive to how your posture is when you're doing that. Not only for your whole spine, but particularly for the neck. So, first thing that we need to remember when we have our phones is that we can't be doing this the whole time and just hanging our heads. It is going to cause us a lot of neck tension and maybe even headaches too. We definitely don't want that. We don't want the opposite either. We don't want to be craning our necks and looking in and doing this thing either. Take a look at the text size on your phone. Set it to one where you can definitely look at it and see it pretty well, 1 to 2 feet, maybe even 3 feet away from your face. All right, you want it to be large enough that you can read it comfortably without squinting, without leaning in constantly. That's important. The ideal, if you're going to be reading for a while and you're sitting, is to get it where, our eyes, they have the least amount of strain at 0 degrees on the horizontal down to 30 degrees below. This arc of motion is the ideal. That's a very hard thing to do with a phone because quite honestly, you're probably going to need to be holding it up and then your shoulders are starting to round forward and you're starting to get tense that way. Probably what's best is somewhere between 30 degrees down from the horizon to 45 degrees down from the horizon. That's probably about your best bet to balance tension in the neck and tension in the shoulders. So what I tell people to do is try to have your elbows in kind of close, resting against your body. That way you're not rounding them forward so much. And try not to actively tip your head down, but let your eyes go down. There's a difference. I can either bring my whole head down or I can do most of the downward looking with the eyes themselves. Try to do a little bit more with the eyes to take the head out of that weird position. So, I'm here, I'm holding, I'm looking down, and I'm doing it like this. All right, it's not the perfect thing to be doing, but it's a good solution for having a device like this in a society like ours. When you're sitting, also make sure that you're being aware of good sitting posture. We've got a video on all the details that go into that. I highly encourage you to check it out because that will also be a part of the puzzle. You can see here I'm sitting upright while I'm doing it, and this is the ideal of what I'm trying to do. If you're sitting at a desk, try, if you can, to do this while resting your arms or forearms on the surface so that way it can take tension out of the shoulders. If you can scoot in really closely, you may even be able to really get the forearms there and kind of hold the phone right in front of you. Now for me right here, this surface is a little bit lower, but if it were a little bit higher, I would be looking like this, and I'd be much more comfortable in my head and neck and in my spine. Lastly, the little thing that we all like to do is lie down and read our phones, okay? That is not ideal. We don't want to be tipping our heads way up and holding them there while we look at this phone for hours on end maybe. But we're going to show you a little trick that you can do if you do need to lie down and take a little bit of a break. Kind of the best of a bad situation. So we're going to show you that. All right, so I'm lying down, I'm reading my phone on my back, I'm being a bad boy, and I'm not doing it well. So I'm going to show you now how I like to do it that sort of helps me make the best of a bad situation. So instead of being here, maybe at the end of the couch or something like that, and just doing this for a long period of time, which will put all that tension on my head and my neck, what I can do is take other pillows and put them on my stomach so that I can take my arms and my hands and rest them right here and read my phone that way. This can be a narrow throw pillow, or it can be a wider bed pillow. Find what works for you. The idea is to have your shoulders feel relaxed and comfortable, and then also the phone is right in that angle, right where I want it, that decreases the strain on my eyes. So I've got what I want here. Now my neck is still kind of craned forward. If I am in this position, again, I do it too, but I try not to do it very long. I try to minimize the amount of time that I am in this position, but if I am on my back and I am reading my phone, I make sure that I've got the pillows to prop the phone on, but I do always, like I said, oops, like I said before, you want to make sure that you have supported the small of your neck and get it where you probably just saw how my head dropped back a little bit. It was because the pressure went to the back of my neck and not the back of my head. So I took pressure away from here and put it here, and it naturally fit that backward curve, that backward contour of my neck, and my head kind of got to drop back a little bit more. So now I've got my neck in a better position. It's supported better. We've distributed the loads there better, and I'm sitting right here like this. So this is the best of a bad situation. If you have to lie down, this is how I do it. All right, so those are some of the best practices that you can employ when holding your smartphone. Don't let this one go. You're doing it all day, every day. It's going to add up in the long run. If you found this video helpful, leave us your comments, your questions, subscribe, and give us a like. And don't forget to check out our website for more related material at marylandmanualtherapy.com. Thank you for watching, and have an inspired day.